is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirt, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going to check out the video. What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with another video. The trade deadline been crazy. I got a lot of videos to catch up and give you guys. But I'm going to start off with the most recent one, and that's Marc Gasol finally getting out of Memphis. As you guys know, who've been following this channel for a while, I feel like Marc Gasol should have never signed the extension with Memphis because I felt like they wasn't going to win a championship with him and Mike Conley. And then you look years later, they haven't. He does have an option that he can opt in to stay for more for the rest of this season, obviously, and next year. And then he'll become a free agent and he'll be older. So I think that this deal will help the Raptors right now. Obviously, when you trade for Kawhi Leonard, who has been having an MVP caliber All NBA first team season, and you have an older Kyle Lowry where you don't really know what the future is going to be with him either, you have to make a move like this because you see what the Sixers have done, getting Tobias Harris, Jimmy Butler the same year in the same season. And then you see the Milwaukee Bucks, which I'll do a video later, is get Nikola Mirotic. They're making moves to stay atop. They see what the Sixers done, and they had to say we had to make moves to make sure we can beat them. And the Raptors had to do the same. They're not even better than the Bucks. They got blew out by the Bucks. And even though I like the Raptors and I thought that they would finish at the top of the East, I still think that they're a tough team to guard, a tough team to stop. And Marc Gasol only helps that a guy that can score in the low post or mid post, plus he can play make at either post position. He can even play make in the pick and roll. He can give you a stop and pop mid-range jumper. He can give you trailing threes, stop and pop threes, or just stay at the three-point line. If you kick it out, he'll be there. And he's a solid defender. The numbers don't really say the Grizzlies are one of the best defensive teams, but if you put Marc Gasol with the right talent around him, with the right pieces, which you do have, Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green, and Kyle Lowry is a solid defender too, and then you add on top of that, you have Serge Ibaka. You have the right perimeter and inside defenders to go around Marc Gasol that you can actually become an even better defensive team because we know Jonas Valanciunas is not a great defender. Neither is Delon Wright or C.J. Miles. So at least you get a guy that you can have for 2 years that can anchor your defense and give you more versatility offensively. And, this makes you a lot harder to guard. Even though I do like Jonas, he is younger. And he does show a lot of promise. He was a guy that never really fully lived up to that potential of being a center that could be an all-star caliber player. He had the touch, he had the size, he had the mobility, and he just could never realize a way to get full advantage of it. And the fact that he's really been beat up this whole season doesn't really help his case either, only playing 30 games, and he only started 10 of them on top of that. Plus, he is a solid player. Never really was a great three-point shooter, was an excellent rebounder in the minutes that he got, but he never had the two-way impact that Marc Gasol has, and it gives you the potential to be. Because remember, the Grizzlies this year, in the beginning of the season, they was one of the better defensive teams, and then it started collapsing as the season went on. And then they started falling apart. So I'm happy for him. I really wanted to see Marc Gasol do good. To me, he's a nice guy. He's very cool. And he's a winner. He wants to win. And I think this gives him the best opportunity that he might ever have at winning because you're playing with a superstar in Kawhi Leonard who have beaten you and really have pushed you a lot in a lot of playoff series. And then you have the defenders and you have the three-point shooting and you have the size because they still have Siakam, another guy that can be a two-way player for them and anchor that defense, whether he's playing with Serge or Siakam. They'll still have somebody that can, rotate and switch and give them a lot of versatility. But Marc Gasol has the heart of a winner. He really has – he's just a great teammate, and you want to be around him. And I feel like this is just a good thing for him. I feel like he shouldn't have signed that extension to Memphis. Looking back at it, I know he starts to think he was a little bit too loyal because he probably could have gave another team that pushed them over the top and made them championship contenders. And even though the Grizzlies was semi-contenders back then, they could never really afford and put the talent around them because obviously Chandler Parsons hurted them. Kyle Anderson wasn't that guy for them, and they kept trying to find that guy, and they never really could, and they overpaid a lot of players just to get them to come to Memphis because it's not a destination to go. But you have to give credit to the Toronto Raptors and the Uzziah for making a trade like this to really push their chances of winning the championship over the top. Like I said, he's an ideal fit for this Raptors team. I think he'll fit right in personality-wise. And, you know, with him getting older, he's not worth the money that he used to be. So you have a huge chance of him opting into that contract because he really ain't going to have a long-term suitor that's going to willing to pay him that amount of money as his production has decreased over the season and this year, and the fact that he's going to be a year older. So I think they have a chance of keeping him for another year, which might actually help them keep Kawhi Leonard because they're showing right now that they're trying to find ways to take care of Kawhi, earn his respect, earn his trust, and earn his loyalty. But not only that, they're showing him that they want to win. And that's the most important thing. Letting Kawhi Leonard know that we feel like you can take us there. We feel like you can be the guy that can help us get to the finals, something that we have never did in history. But they're also showing that they're willing to put the talent around him at any cost to help thrust them into the finals, giving them a chance to win the championship. And if you want to beat Golden State, this is a move that you have to make. Like I said, the fact that Jonas has been injured all season only makes this move more valuable now that they have a legitimate center that can do multiple things and make their offense a lot more dynamic and more harder to guard. And he's a body that mostly plays a lot, so you don't really have to worry about the injury as much. But when it comes to Memphis, they get Jonas Delon Wright and C.J. Miles. They get two players that fill positions that they don't really have a lot of depth in. Obviously, Delon Wright has been a guy that is a love and hate guy in Toronto, a guy that has shown flashes of potential, can be a solid player for you, and he is a rotation piece. He's not a guy that you can just put on the bench. He's a guy that deserves minutes, and he's a guy that can play, and he's a guy that you can flip. I can definitely see you getting a second rounder for a guy like Delon Wright, and I can definitely see you getting the first rounder for a guy like Jonas Valanciunas if you really don't want to keep him. But he is a good fit with Jaren Jackson. But at the end of the day, I don't know if they're going to really keep him long term because the fact that he's 26 means that he could stay long term. But I don't know if they're really going to do it because he hasn't really shown the ability to really be worth a lot of money. He might be worth a long-term commitment because of his age and his talent, but he hasn't really shown that superstar potential in years. And I think that that's basically died out at this point. And when it comes to C.J. Miles, he has not had the season that they thought he'd have. Becoming a guy that's a spot-up shooter and can play the shooting or the three position and give you floor spacing and give you a guy that can really, space out that floor for you. So I think that this trade was necessary. You still have Danny Green. You still have some guards that can give you quality minutes, so you're not really losing much there. Plus, you still have Serge Siakam and Marc Gasol, so you're not really losing that much talent there at the big spot. So they gained an all-star caliber player for basically depth. You lose a couple players, but you replace Marc Gasol with Jonas, and then you already have guards and forwards already, so you're not really losing so much depth where it's going to hurt. You only really need to go 8 deep in the playoffs, maybe 9, and they still have that as the Raptors. They still have that much talent that they should be fine with that type of trade. So I think the Raptors might win this trade, but I do like Jonas. He's a hard worker. He really goes hard. He does the dirty work, and he's a guy that can really be versatile. Plus, he's younger than Marc Gasol, and he's a guy that looks like he's a loyal guy that he's willing to stay with the Grizzlies, which could help them long term if they can't really find another big. The fact that he's still young and they probably can lock him down cheaper than they lock down Marc Gasol, and he can be a quality big for them, maybe that will help them in the future. But I think C.J. Miles and Delon Wright can give them ability to be flipped to other players or flip for a young asset or even flip for a pick, which can help Grizzlies if they're really trying to go all in on the rebuild. That can really help them 2. So either way it go, I think this is a good trade for both teams. You get young talent, you get a pick, and you get guys that you can probably flip into other young talents or picks. So I think that's what Memphis is looking for right now anyway. So check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description, comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Like on Facebook to show support. Thanks for everybody liking on Facebook. Check out my spread shirt, that'll be in the comment and in the description. Also, I enjoy making these videos. You guys enjoy watching. Check out my older videos. I do trade deadline buyouts. I do breakdowns. I do free agency. I also do the draft, summer league. I even do tributes to the legends. I do it all. I try to do a 365. Try to make as many videos as I can, and I try to make them every single day. And if you're excited for the Raptors, they had to make a move. The Bucks made a move. Philly made a move. Obviously, they had to make a move to stay on top, and this can really help them in the playoffs because he has made it far in the playoffs. He has played on winning teams, and he has challenged and beat the Warriors a couple times in the series that they played, and that goes well for a team like Toronto having that type of experience on their bench. So let me know who you think won the trade, why you like the trade, and if I underrated or slept on somebody in this trade. Let me know in the comment section below. I read every comment.